Hi guys, hello everyone, MrTrillLife. I told you that on this channel we're going to have more tutorials and everything I do believe you need to actually get massive visibility for your brand so you can scale to say 100 million or say your first 300 clients in business, right? That's the reason why I'm going to put out all of these videos that I have created, and I'm going to make them as short as possible. I'm going to make them bulletproof. I'm going to make them have all of the info you need. No fluff, zero distractions, just exactly what you need to do, and you get straight into it. Hi everyone, this is MrTrillLife, and in this video, in this tutorial video, I want to show you exactly how to set up what you call a target audience or an online persona for who you want to reach out to in your own business. And I'm going to be doing this, showing you a formula for it, and we're going to go into one of the advertising platforms and I'll show you how to apply these things yourself. Zero fluff, zero distractions, no long stories. Let's get right into it. So the first thing is a document I'm going to give to you that will be in the description, right? But I'm going to explain it to you properly here. So it says, who exactly are my target audience? Now, what is a target audience? Let's first start from that. A target audience, as we know, is like a group of people who have like shared interests or common interests, or who have the same problem that your product is trying to solve, that your product or your service is trying to solve, right? That's what a target audience is. So I just want you to know that there's nothing big about the grammar. It's not big English, right? A lot of people just try to overcomplicate it. Sometimes people want to work with they want to talk about something, maybe something they are doing in their business that is detrimental, and when someone complains about it, they say you're not my target audience, meaning you're not the kind of person I want to reach out to. That's what they're saying. And yes, it just helps them set up a defense mechanism to protect the nonsense they're trying to do. But this is actually what a target audience is in a business. It's a defined character for a person, an individual, or a company that needs your product or service as a solution to a problem that they have, right? That's what it is. I don't want anybody to give you any form of fluff or tell you it's something else. That's what it is. And there are different ways, different features that you can use to clearly identify your target audience. Say, for example, I own a shoe brand, right? I own a shoe factory and I sell shoes. Am I going to say, oh, I sell shoes to everybody? I sell shoes to men? No. There has to be an age bracket of people that wear the kind of shoes I want to sell. So if that's going to be for the older generation, the Gen X, or what are they called again, right? That would mean I'm trying to sell shoes to people between the ages of say 35 and maybe 60, 65, right? For some people, they sell sneakers to very young boys, say from the ages of 18 to 35. For some people, it's sneakers or slippers or slides that could work for people between the ages of 18 and 28. I just want you to understand that for a target audience, one of the features you need to be able to clearly identify is the age bracket. Okay? The age bracket. Now, leaving the age bracket aside, another thing you also need to know is what are the things they love. Most people just say, I want people in this particular age bracket, in this location and this location. And that's not all. There's a lot more. What do they like? What's the problem they have? What are some things they enjoy doing? Maybe enjoy doing online, maybe enjoy doing offline. Let me give you a clear example, right? I want to sell sneakers, okay? I could say I want to sell sneakers to guys between the ages of 18 to 35 who love trap music, right? They love trap music, they love Travis Scott, they love DaBaby, or they love Drake, right? And what do they suffer? They suffer stuff like not finding their sizes on items, right? Problems related to online shopping, right? Maybe they buy stuff and what they buy, it doesn't just look like what they saw online when it gets to them. Yeah, that's a problem they suffer. And that's also something that clearly identifies who they are as the target audience. It aligns with their values. Another thing also that I could also say is this particular target audience, they love this person. You can see that on the second column we have here. I said because it aligns with their values, dash influencer uses it. Earlier on, I made mention of a couple of names of guys who love sneakers and some celebrities that they would like, right? I made mention of Travis Scott, Drake, the baby. Now, what happens is when you are filling in these documents for yourself, it means that in the place that has dash influencer, you are going to write all of these names or some of these names. You're trying to clearly identify who that one person is that needs your sneakers, right? Who is that one person? Not who are the 10 million people. Yes, we know you want to sell to 100,000 people, but what is that one thing that 100,000 people would see and would say, this brand is for me? That's why you need to first start narrow, then you start branching out, and then you go broad, right? So the first part of the column is for the nature of the individual. By this, I mean their gender. Okay? So are they men? Are they women? What's their age bracket? What's their age bracket? That's another thing. So for my example, using sneakers, I would say men within the ages of 18 to 35, right? 18 to 35. Who love what? They love trap music, they love hip hop, they love rap, right? So this dash, dash, and dash is for you to put in 3 different things that these people like. Now, these 3 different things can be anything. It could be the kind of music these people like, right? Boys that want these sneakers. It could be the kind of music. It could be the kind of cars. Maybe the kind of cars you see in the music videos of their favorite influencers. It could be the kind of trips. It could be the kind of slangs they like. It could be locations. It could be food. It could be food. Yes, it could be food. For example, for these sneaker lovers, I could predict that, there are people who love eating takeout, right? They love deliveries from restaurants. Why? Because I want to also deliver sneakers to them. I would be putting a bold assumption that they also love when stuff is delivered to them. Right? So yes, 1 second. Right? And guys, I'm making these videos because I know that a lot of people get bamboozled. A lot of people get bamboozled by the idea of target audience. So I don't want anyone to deceive you anymore. These are all videos of help. And I'm dropping this because I want these to be things you can do yourself. Okay? So, like we're talking about the guys with the sneakers. They are men or males within the age brackets of 18 to 35 who love music, hip hop, trap music, whatever. What do they suffer? You could say they suffer stuff like delayed shipping, delayed deliveries, right? Dishonesty, just things that people who may enjoy sneakers would not like, right? Maybe a certain kind of music that they would necessarily not enjoy, or not necessarily enjoy rather, right? Then here, On the second column says they buy X name of product because it aligns. Don't forget we're trying to sell sneakers. Okay guys, we're trying to sell sneakers, so don't forget. They buy sneakers because it aligns with their values. Dash influencer uses it. This place for Dash influencer is where you then start putting in influencers that you know rock sneakers a lot. That's where you start putting in all the Drake, the Lil Wayne, the Travis Scott, all the rappers that you know have music videos wearing sneakers, all the rappers who are big influencers, the basketball stars who are big influencers for sneakers. And it also makes them, how does it make them feel? It improves their self-confidence. It improves their self-confidence. It makes them feel proud of themselves, right? Good. So yeah, that's how you're going to fill in that column with words like that. Words like self-confidence, words like ego boosting, words like happiness, right? And then I also prepared a column that will show you how to fill in this demographic level. The reason behind all of this is that you need to be able to fill in all of these things, because these things are the things you're going to throw into any advertising platform after your keyword. After this term, you're going to throw in these things into your advertising platform. So for example, if I want to sell these sneakers, I wouldn't go to an advertising platform like say Meta or Instagram and I'll be writing sneakers. No. I would first off start out by putting out my age, 18 to 35. I'll put the gender as male. I'll put the location as, say for example, Lagos. Income level, there is a way to set that up on Meta, which I'll show you guys shortly. Education level, there's a way to set that up. Occupation, there's a way. Marital status, there's a way. I could put single there because a lot of those guys are not married. So that is how you see that I actually go deep into targeting the exact person who needs my product. That's why you find out that I run ads and then it looks like I'm just hitting who the ad needs to hit. Yeah, that's it. Now another one is online behavior. I put online behavior here because a lot of advertising platforms now have found a way to tell you or give you some data about people's online behavior. Like, are they people that are heavy shoppers? Are they window shoppers? Are they people who are barely online? Right? Their spending habits. Their income level shows you what their spending habits are like. Loyalty to brand, you can also write this up. Product usage, you can also write this up. The goal behind this is I want you to be able to at least input at least 50 to 70% of everything you see on these columns. You need to be able to put them on your, say, Facebook, Instagram, or Google or Snapchat Ads Manager. You need to be able to. All right? This is how you clearly set up a target audience. So I'm going to leave this in the description. You can just go in there and download it for free, right? It's my help from me to you, because I don't want you worried about this target audience thing anymore. And I'm going to show you a sample of one that I also have set up myself, right? I'll give you a sample for ones I set up myself for, say, 5 niches. I'll do for someone selling sneakers, and I'll cover 4 other niches. So that gives you an idea of what you should set up. Now I want us to go into the Facebook Ads Manager, and I want to show you that most of these terms can be targeted. Okay, so let's hop right into that. So now this is the Facebook, guys. This is the Facebook, and what I want is I want us to go to where it says Ads Manager, right? So when we go into Ads Manager, what do we see? Of course, you're going to see, I do assume that you all know how to, set up your Ads Manager account so you can use it. The goal of this is for me to show you, opportunity score is 100. Make sure your opportunity score on your ad account is 100 when using Facebook. The goal of this is for me to show you how this target audience terms can be used, all right? Because when you know how to use them, that's when you can profit from them. So what is the first thing I will do? The first thing I will do on my Ads Manager is I'll come over here and I'll click the Create button. Ads Manager platform is one that really takes a lot of system data. So I'm going to just pick, I'll just come down, I'll pick sales, for example. Then I'll click continue. Then after clicking continue, the next thing is, of course, this is the place where you set up advantage ads or no advantage ads. I'm going to leave this the way it is. Let me show you the budget. Not like I'm running any ad, I'm going to leave that the way it is. And I'll go to the ad set level. Of course, it's going to the website. I'll call this ad set 1. I'll scroll down. I'm just showing you guys some of the ad settings that I use most of the time. I'll use this active data set. I'm sure you know pixels are now called data sets. A lot changes every day with the Facebook platform. So yeah. Then I'll optimize for purchase. Very important. Make sure you optimize for purchase every time you run ads. Yeah. Then the next thing I'm going to do is, wow, you can now add your ads in threads. That's a new one. All devices, it's going to be just mobile because everybody's on their phone these days. Platforms, I don't like using multiple platforms at the same time, so of course I'll turn off audience network. I will turn off threads. I don't want to use threads yet. I'll turn off, say, Facebook. I'll turn off Messenger. Let's just assume this is an ad that wants to be shown on just Instagram. But it's good. I mean, I made a video about this, predicting that there will be ads on threads when it launched. But it's a bit late, but it's good. It's now there. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to go to your interest and audiences. So, to do that, we're going to come to this. This says show more settings. Show more settings here. Use a saved audience. So we don't want to use a saved audience. We want to actually set up our audience. Location, we don't target a whole nation. So what I'm going to do is I'll just target a city in a nation, and I'll pick that city. I'll turn this off, reach more people likely. And then audience suggestions. First off, can you see the first thing? I want you to watch this now closely. Come to this audience area. The first thing, what did we say? We said we wanted an individual between the ages of 18 to 35. That's what we said. So I'll come here. So I'm going to come here and select 35. Right? And I'll select 35, meaning I'll add a show to people within ages of 18 and 35. For gender, we said men, right? Sneakers. I'll select men. Watch what happens when you're selecting this. You find out that the audience size will be reducing. It's already 300,000, 307,000. Now, the last thing we also want to select is the interests. Okay? The interest is one more thing we want to select. So we've selected gender. We'll come to detailed targeting. Now we said a lot of things, but let me tell you one thing you should always do when setting up detailed targeting. The first thing you must add is the broad keyword. People don't teach this enough, but the broad keyword is one thing you must add. So if you're, for example, trying to sell sneakers, the first thing that should be here is sneakers, right? That is the first thing that should be there. Look for that word. So it could be sneakers or trainers or whatever. It is after you add that you start adding other things. So you can see the sneaker shop here, but first I'm going to add trainers. I'm going to add trainers. Another thing I'm going to add, then you see that related ones will pop up. I'll put in footwear. And then I think that should be all for sneakers, for the keyword itself, sneakers. Let me see. Yeah, for the keyword itself, yeah, shoes, footwear, that's fine. Now we have 109,000 people. Okay, 109,000 people. I like to have my ads reaching at least a minimum of 500k people for each ad or each ad set. So I'm gonna have to work on that. But other things we can add are some things we spoke about. We spoke about what? We spoke about their gender, their age, the things they love, meaning this could be people or influencers. So let's say, for example, let's take Drake. Let's take Drake. Okay, so you see 218 million. Drake the rapper. Good. Adding Drake the rapper, what does it do? What does it do to our, you see, 131,000? You can see it's increasing now. Now, who else aside Drake could you predict or say is a sneaker lover? It's already there. I told you guys about Travis Scott. Travis Scott. You see, Travis Scott is already there. I think that would be good for the influencers. So we have covered this dash, we've covered this dash to the influencers. Now another thing we want to cover is what it makes them do. So it could be improving self-confidence, right? I write it out. Yes, I literally sometimes even write this out. Write it out physically before even imputing them into the Meta or Google Ads Manager, because I know how important all of these keywords are, right? You see, it's personal development. I can decide to add that. And that is what, see, my ad set is now on 151 to 178,000. Placement controls. I like having my ads shown on just a feed and stories, right? So feed and stories only, nothing else. Now, besides that, another one I would also like to do is I only use mobile devices. Don't forget about that. Now, what else? There are still some. On the next script, we had online behavior. For online behavior, there's one I like to add. It's called engage shoppers. Engage shoppers is an interest to target people who have made a purchase or clicked a buy now or shop now button within the last 7 days. And this is very important. So I like adding engage shoppers. So I'll add engage shoppers. Okay, at least we can see it's still there. Remember, they are single too. Remember, they're single. So what I do is I stack in the interests I want on one ad set, then I blast many ads to them. So that way, the same kind of people who are my target audience are seeing different ads. So any of the ads can resonate with them. Right, guys? And you can do this through your Instagram, do this through your Facebook, but it's better to do it from here. Because even from here, it can also show on your Instagram, just the way I'm setting it up. Now, you can see that there's also Future, there's Kanye West, there's trainer collecting, there's self-esteem. Can you see? I could have added self-esteem instead of self-confidence. Right? And look at, there's Migos, Young Thug. These are people who like or listen to artists like this, are people who would love sneakers, enjoy wearing sneakers. But another thing that we also spoke about is their income, right? Income or spending habits. So we've added engaged shoppers. We can also add people who love online shopping. Online shopping, retail, meaning they buy things retail. Right? Don't add online shopping rewards except you're looking for cheap people who love freebies. So online shopping, and our audience is now 207,000. So if you want to have a campaign with multiple ad sets, all you just be doing is maybe changing one thing in each ad set and using the same ads. So for example, here now we know that we have Drake, right? We could decide to change Drake and Travis Scott to Future or Lil Wayne in another ad set, right? You duplicate the ad set and change it. So what I'm going to do is first let me do the ad. On the ad level, go to the ad level, and I'll just use an existing post. There's no sneaker picture, so please bear with me. Whatever picture you see me use, I'm going to click select post, and I'll just take this one. Okay, and then here I'll put in my website URL. Ignore the picture I used, please. Of course, my ad will have the shop now button, and then I will have my website for sneakers, sneakersoau.com, right? And that's it. So for this ad, they are going to see it displayed on just Instagram. My pixel is green, showing good targeting, showing it's healthy, it's rich. And my shop now, instead of my picture, please, it's going to be a picture of the sneakers and my offer written here. But I want to quickly show you guys how to duplicate your ad set if I want to change some of the interests. So I'll come to the ad set level here. I'll click duplicate. I'll click existing campaign. I'll duplicate it. Don't forget, guys, then I can call this one, say ad set 2. Right? I'll call this ad set 2, and then next thing I will do is in the place of detail targeting, I'm going to remove, say I want to change the artist. I'll just come here, and as little as changing Drake and maybe Travis Scott to somebody else, I literally could alter the life of this ad set and make this ad set start reaching a different set of people, right? So what do I want to add now? I'm gonna add, let's say I'll add Future the rapper. Okay, so Future the rapper, 20 million. And then who else is there? There's a Young Thug, there's Migos. I could decide to add Migos if people like Migos. And this is just it, guys. This is how to set up using, I've shown you the target audience document. I'll give you guys that, right? And then also I've shown you how to set it up for your own business. Don't forget, you can use the sales option, you can use the messaging option. When you come back to the first page, you can decide to use the messaging option, right? So you can come here and change it from sales to engagement. So you use engagement, and then inside the ad set, you can switch it to the messaging option. So conversion says on your ad, you are going to change that to get people to engage your brand on WhatsApp, blah, 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 or Instagram, right? You change that. That is the messaging option. So you turn off Messenger, leave only Instagram turned on, guys. This is how you do it. And you leave everything else the same way. But I must advise you, if you want to use different options, make sure you duplicate it before you put in the interests. But this is how to do it, guys. I'll give you the document. I hope you found a lot of value in this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it's a tutorial. Hopefully it's a brain-racking session. I'll see you guys. MrTrillLife out. Peace.